Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners Gone Wild podcast. We've been away for since the international break, but we are back, and we are back with a banger as Ari leaves the studio. He's coming back, don't worry. But I'm here with Doc, Ari, and Sammy, and we're going to be doing our pre-match analysis of the big one, Man City versus Arsenal this Sunday. I already know Old City's going to be popping, so if you guys are around, pop out, say what's up to the GGW boys, aka Gabe, and yeah, it'll be a good time. But boys, how are you feeling? How y'all doing? Doing all right?
Hey man, a day at a time.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
Good to be back with the boys.
Yeah, good to be hopefully consistent again too. Now that things are starting to pick back up in the footy world, and you know we're definitely gonna have some off-season content for you guys coming your way when that's coming up. That's stuff we got to think about. It's on the horizon. We're in the business end of the season with what I believe 11 games to go, 10 games to go.
That's wild.
I know.
Yeah, 10 games to go.
But before we talk about the other 10, let's talk about the one that's happening this weekend. The potential Premier League title deciding match between Man City and Arsenal at the Etihad, at the Silent Library, at the quietest stadium in Europe, at the most plastic fans in the world. Anyway, I could keep going. Anyways, well, how you boys feeling? I'm going to kick it off with Doc tonight. Doc, how are you feeling about this game?
I am actually feeling really good about this match. If there was a year that I think we are the most prepared in order to win the Premier League, the most prepared in order to kind of push City off to the side, it's this year. We've done it in the Community Shield. We did it at home at the Emirates. And don't get me wrong, City had chances as well, but we've looked a lot more dominant this year in every other match that we've played. We've played City on equal footing in both matches that we've had against them. And if there's any year that I think that we can do it, it's 100% this year. Absolutely. Especially taking points away from them at the Etihad. And I was talking to one of my patients about this, who's a City fan. Yeah, I know. And it was, I don't remember the last time that City was properly thrashed. And I'll just leave it at that.
Ooh, I like that. Ari, how are you feeling about it?
I'm honestly feeling very confident. This is a season-defining match, obviously, but you know, hopefully, not that I'd ever wish injury upon any players, but you know, there's some big boosts for us in terms of international footy. I think Kyle Walker came off early for England. John Stones came off as well, I think. And then I think Ake came off for the Netherlands.
I didn't hear the Ake one. Let's go.
I know Akanji is another.
Or Akanji, sorry.
Oh,
I think it was Akanji. Yeah,
Still.
I think it was
Akanji.
Yeah. So there are some big injuries for City, and obviously most of our players, maybe tactically, maybe coincidentally, got pulled out of international footy. Don't know if that was Arteta's doing or not, but you know, our players seem to be well rested for this match. So you know,
that's a fair.
Did you also see?
Go ahead.
Did you also see Ben White just got back from Dubai?
We got back from Dubai. We're cooking.
Bro was playing cards in Dubai while England was losing.
Don't blame him. Who would want to play
crazy.
the
I just
got a hat trick.
I just think how it's funny. No, I just think it's funny how they lose Saka. They don't call up White. They had Rice, but there's only so much one man can do. But they lose all the Arsenal players, and then England start to perform poorly. Think about that, Gareth Southgate. He's literally gonna screw England. We could talk about that in the off season. Sammy, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited. One, Timber played a couple minutes with Netherlands this past break, like new signing.
I didn't know that. Oh my god!
I think he came on at like the 70th, and he got some minutes in one of the games. So I'm just really excited, and honestly, I'm excited to see Declan Rice pocket KDB this weekend.
If he even plays.
Yeah, if he even plays. But
Yeah,
honestly,
that is-
I want KDB to play. Knock
Because
on
he
wood.
was still
I want
having
him
his
to
groin
play.
injury. So
Yeah, well, guess what? A real man like Declan Rice doesn't need groin injuries. He just plays through it. Knock on wood, by the way. Yeah, but I'm excited. I feel like the squad was in good form before they left, and moving into this match and towards the end of the season, everyone has been rotated a good amount. Still worried about Saka and Declan, obviously, not having that depth in that side and overall, but I feel like it'll be a good second half to the season, and we got a lot of strong fixtures coming up. Overall, I'm also upset we didn't play Barcelona because I could have gotten to see Arsenal thrash Barcelona at camp. It's at the Olympico Stadium, but anyway, it was great. Overall, I'm excited for this weekend, and I'll be around if anyone wants to do a watch along with one of you guys.
Ooh.
absolutely.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to be watching with my dad since he's a City fan. So
Right, that's great.
I-
Good for you, dude.
Why am I just now figuring this out?
Yeah, no, and that's kind of what you guys have said are kind of I echo that. I'm feeling, this is the most confident I think I've ever felt playing against City. Like ever since City has been this ginormous, financial fair play breaking team. We've always been like, oh, this is a loss in the season. We're gonna have 2 losses of the season that's guaranteed, and it's against City, right? I think the win at the Emirates is going to boost us incredibly because, yeah, it was only a 1-0, but we bossed that game. And that was when they were healthy. You can make the argument, okay, KDB wasn't there. You can make that argument, but
I think Rodri was out as well.
And Rodri with the suspension,
Yeah,
true.
with the suspension.
But still, like those are only 2 players. They still had a fairly strong team.
Squad.
It was when Gvardiol was in the form of his life. We see Gvardiol is probably going to come back into the side, so we can expose that again. They're not going to have Akanji. They're not going to have Stones. They might not have KDB. They might not. We see the form Haaland's been in. I don't know what's been going on with him. He's only been able to score against tap-in merchant sides, the bottom of the table. But even then, he's still struggling to score certain chances. And when you play a team as big as Arsenal, and I don't care what you say, Arsenal's fucking massive, you can't be missing those chances. We have that same problem, but we have 4 people that can put the ball in the back of the net. They have 1. 2, if you want to count De Bruyne, I guess. But so I think it's going to be... I'm excited, but on the flip side, as an Arsenal fan, it's the hope that kills you. I'm not getting my hopes up. There's still a long ways to go. Even if we falter this weekend, I still think that there can be chances to take to leapfrog City.
Yeah.
How do you think we talked a lot about City, but we had just as much as a rest as City has. Do you think that rest is going to help us throughout this game, or do you think that we're going to come back maybe a little lackadaisical, maybe foot off the gas? Sammy, I'm gonna start with you.
I feel like I think it's needed, all this rest for the squad, especially before we went into the break. Felt like we were playing pretty high intensity football, especially in the second halves. Just scoring goals for fun, which is wild for us to see sometimes. I know in the beginning of the season we were worried about that, but no, I feel like I'm very confident in the form everyone is in, and I know Ari, definitely not me, likes to rag on Odegaard, but I feel like he's been very crucial this season, and yes, there are some moments where he's not doing what we want him to do, but again, in the overall picture, I think he is truly captain material and has really shown bright for us this season. And I know Ari's just trying to think of all the exact moments he hasn't done anything right now, but in the overall picture, I think he has been one of our star players, and
Yeah, that guy's better off the ball than he is on the ball.
still an important thing.
Yeah, still very an important thing, but
I'd rather.
Your favorite player doesn't even get in the starting 11 now.
I was just gonna say I'd rather.
Yeah, he
have
does.
Zinchenko,
he was injured.
Yes. Well, we don't need him. We need someone capable of defending and not passing to the opposition. Also, I just
Don't worry,
want to
guys.
say to all the
Timber's
Riot
back.
haters, that's our boy now.
All right, I will say if there's anybody on this podcast that deserves an apology, it's Sammy, because I think we cooked him for talking about Raya in a positive light. He has been so incredibly massive these past couple of games, and I think he will continue to be incredibly massive in these upcoming games.
I read a
especially
pretty
against
crazy
City.
stat. I read a pretty crazy stat about Raya that the average number of crosses that keepers come out and catch is like below like 7% or below 6%, something pretty low, and he's up to 15%, and no one has ever gotten more than 12%. So he's very confident coming out and collecting the balls out of the air and then setting us off on the counterattack, and I think that's really, really crucial to how we play as well, because I saw a TikTok about it. I forget who it was, but they were talking about how essentially we're so hard to break down because we have Rice, Saliba, and Gabriel. So they're taking up that pocket of space, and it's really difficult to break us down centrally. So they have to go wide, and it comes through crosses that we usually concede, or set pieces. So I think him being able to have that strength of being able to come out and grab balls out of the air is very, very helpful. But the biggest thing I think is the playing with his feet, because obviously they're great shot stoppers. Like Leno's been having a great season. He has the highest save percentage, but the difference for us is you don't need to be a great shot stopper if we're in possession 65% of the game and we have the ball, like for a majority of the time. And we face what, like 3-4 shots on target in our last like 3 or 4 games. So you don't need to be a phenomenal shot stopper in that light, because I don't think Ederson is either. But Pep hasn't looked to replace him, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point, especially when you have that triangle in the center that they can't break down, you have to go wide. Like that also shows Arteta's genius, right? Because even though Raya might not be the shot stopper, like we saw Ramsdale make those 3 incredible saves against Brentford, right? Maybe Raya doesn't get those, but he does get like the basics. He does get the easy stuff, which is picking the crosses out of the air, which if you wouldn't even want to call that basic, but something simple as that could catalyze like a whole. That's the difference between a clean sheet or not. When we have those front 3, so that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Raya kind of the GOAT now, huh? Doc, how you feeling?
I honestly think this rest break is something that we needed, even though we were in really, really good form. I think giving guys with any like nagging injuries, I think we saw a report come out about Saka saying that he had been nursing consistently and going away for treatment for a nagging injury that he's had. Hopefully this allowed him some time to rest, not needing to be on international duty and being able to rest at Arsenal. And last year, right around this time in the season, we lost some key players due to injuries. One in particular that we have now and is healthy is Saliba. And I think that is going to be one of the biggest things, having this time, this break, where a lot of the guys that we had lost last season are coming back from injuries currently, and everybody is going to be healthy. We have Partey back. We have Timber coming back at the most important time in the season. And we know he's going to play a big role moving forward, especially with all the fixtures that we have, not only in the Premier League and the Champions League. So I think this is going to allow the guys to get their legs back underneath them for the final haul, the business end of the season for the Prem and the Champions League.
Oh, I hope, man. Yeah, I hope.
The hope that kills, baby.
All right. Is there anything you wanted to add on after your statement about Raya? I don't know if I asked you specifically how you're feeling about like us as a squad going into this game, but
No, not really. Not anything in particular. I think hopefully, I don't know. As much as I love Zinni, I don't know if I want to see him in this match this weekend, just because he is shaky defensively, and they do have very dangerous threats on both wings. I wonder if Doku will play though. I wonder.
I could pocket Doku, dude. He's so predictable.
I saw a clip today. It was talking about Ben White is going to have a field day again. It was just the clip of him on this touch line, megging Doku and just going right by him like it was nothing.
Just look for the triple step over with the right leg cut into the left. Every time.
I saw Man City fans on Twitter talking about his 5-goal contributions against Bournemouth. And everyone was like, yeah, where the fuck did he go after that?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's facts. I'm feeling pretty good about our squad. I'm not gonna lie. I did forget about Thomas Partey. I think he's as good as gone in my eyes, but he is a quality player. I think he is going to be great coming off the bench this weekend, especially if we're like 2-0 up, 3-0 up. We could even be 4-0 up at that point. All right, I'm coping, but maybe if we had a striker that put the ball in the back of the net, we could actually think like that. But
we have Kai Havertz.
Yeah, true. That's my goat. Sorry, Raya. I know I called you a goat earlier, but Havertz is my goat.
Do you guys think we'll come out the gates hot, or do you think we'll try to absorb some pressure in the first 15-20 minutes?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to absorb some pressure this time around, just simply because when we look at previous games against City where we did lose that 1-0, obviously there was a ref screw job when I'm talking about this game, but the 1-0 loss on New Year's Day, I think it was two years ago, that was what happened. We came hot right off the gates. We were, should have been 3-0 up. And then I think it was like in the 70th, 80th minute, we conceded just because we got so tired and we just couldn't keep up with that press from Man City. Whereas this year, I think we've proven that we have the fitness, we have the discipline, and I think we are going to take some of that pressure off early. We're going to get Raya's hands comfortable. He's going to save 2 easy shots, and then boom, we're off to the races. That's what I think it's going to be.
I hope we work our way into the game a lot sooner than we have in the past, because sometimes it takes us 20-25 minutes to really get into the game and get in the rhythm. So I hope it doesn't take us too long to get into that rhythm and find the ball and find possession and move the ball up the pitch. But do you guys want to do a combined starting 11?
Yeah, real quick before we say that, I just want to finish one point real quick. I do think if we win on Sunday, I think that's the league. I think we win the league. I don't see I don't see us dropping points to anybody else at the end of the season. And even if we do, Man City's bound to drop points. Liverpool's bound to drop points. We said it in the beginning of the season. We said it that this was not going to be the same Manchester City juggernaut that we're used to. And I think we're starting to see that this year. Liverpool's been very opportunistic, but I think with a couple of injuries that Liverpool's also dealing with a lot of media that Liverpool's dealing with, Klopp leaving, I don't see them winning. I mean, they can't beat Man United to go to the semifinals or Carabao Cup. They're not beating at any of their fixtures. I think they still have to play Spurs, and that's pretty hard to do. But you know what I mean? When you're losing points to Man United and then you go to Spurs, they're pretty comparable because they're both pretty shit. So, I love this. It's gonna be rough for Liverpool. So I think this is a 2-man horse. I think this is a City Arsenal horse. Arsenal does the double for the first time since like 2012 against Manchester City, and we win the league. That's all I'm going to say. Let's do our combined 11. Let's start with the goalkeeper. I'm going to go...
Well, do we want to vote? Do we want to everyone vote?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I was going to do. I was just going to kick it off. I'm going to go Raya.
I'll go Raya as well.
Gabe.
I'll go Raya as well.
Let's go. All right, let's talk about...
Current form.
Yeah.
I think Ederson's injured anyway, so... I'd take Raya over Ortega, I think, personally. But
who?
Ortega. Backup.
Ortega?
Yeah, backup.
Who?
Backup keeper?
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Never heard of him.
Man City's death crumbling, finally. Let's talk about the left back. Who is it? Would that be... Ooh.
It varies based off of whatever the hell happens. I've seen Ake there.
Yeah.
There has been a lot, like Gvardiol has been there as well.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they're going to play at center back and who they're going to play at left back.
Breaking news. I have breaking news. Breaking news. This comes from my Manchester City fan cousin saying, congratulations on the win this Sunday. breaking news: Manuel Akanji is also a doubt for Manchester City against Arsenal, alongside Kyle Walker and John Stones.
I read
Yeah,
Haaland
that
was
we
even. I read Haaland was even a doubt.
But he played
Possibly.
in one of the Norway matches. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, and he was fine.
Gotcha.
Damn.
So we're talking about left back here.
Okay, let's say it's
Kiri.
Gvardiol.
Say it's
Kiri or Gvardiol.
okay.
Yeah, let's say it's
Kivior, Vardiol. All right. Go ahead, Ari. What you thinking?
I think Gvardiol's had a very quiet entrance to the Prem. I don't think he's been particularly incredible, especially for his price tag. I think based off current form, I take Kiwi.
You guys in agreement?
Yeah.
Kiwi. Okay, Sammy says yeah. All right, Doc's kind of thinking.
Yeah. I'm going back and forth on this one because I think the reason why Gvardiol has been pretty quiet is he's a center back and he's being transitioned in a Pep system to an outside back. I mean, look at Ben White whenever he transitioned to center back to outside back. It took him some time to transition there as well. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there, and I'm probably going to say Gvardiol on this one instead of Kiwi.
My vote's going to be for Bernardo Silva. Okay. No, I think as of right now, I'm going to go Kivior. I think for both teams, this is the weakest position. Just because I'm being no disrespect to Kivior, I just don't think Kivior has that mentality yet. I think it's on the way. I think it's coming. But this only being his second season, and this is the first season he's really even gotten playing time, as we crashed out of a lot of the competitions last season pretty early. I think he's on his way. However, Gvardiol is he is tested in the big leagues. Where did he come from again? It was the Bundesliga, correct?
It was Leipzig.
It was Leipzig.
Yeah. That's a pretty hard team to play for in the starting 11, especially in a very competitive Bundesliga as of recently. So I think I will go Gvardiol on this aspect. However, I think Kivior is right up there with him. Let's talk about center backs. I think it's obvious. Let's just do the two because I think it's obvious. I think we're all gonna say Gabriel and Saliba, correct?
100%.
Yeah.
And people will troll us for that, but who has the best defensive record in the league? Who has I think we also have the most clean sheets in the league.
I think we're tied.
We're tied. And then least goals conceded, we might be tied for that as well, or we're leading. Center back pairing.
No, that's all Raya. That's all Raya.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Right back.
Walker, if he's fit.
I don't even know who they would play. I guess one of their young kids. They have that.
Who is
Bradley?
Lewis.
Lewis Bob.
Yeah.
Or Lewis. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's Oscar Bob plays somewhere else, right?
Oscar Bob plays center.
Yeah, he plays winger.
Yeah.
Winger. Yeah. If, like you were saying, if he's fit, I'm giving it to Kyle Walker. Yeah. But if not, it's 100% Ben White. I don't care who else they're putting at outside back. It's going to be Ben White.
I'm going to go with Ben White over Kyle Walker, actually. Mainly because Kyle Walker's on my fantasy team, and he's been putting in some stinkers recently.
This man's got the data.
However, I am saying it because I do believe Ben White's a little bit more consistent. I think that's the difference between this Man City team compared to this Arsenal team is consistency this season. And I think Man City's kind of been all over the place. They've been having a lot more shaky results than we have, which is surprising. But it's just the only difference between their shaky results and our shaky results is our shaky results ended up in either a loss or a draw. Their shaky results end up in a 89th minute 1-0, something like that. But I am going to put Ben White on top of that, especially if he's on his day. He's coming back he's got the Dubai buff, you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to go Ben White. Let's talk about CDM. This is the tough one. This is probably the most controversial one.
Wait, Timmy and I didn't even pick our right back.
I'm going Kyle Walker, bro.
Oh, I thought we were saying.
Ari, I thought you said Kyle Walker. If he's healthy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
Sammy didn't go. Sammy didn't
I,
go.
I
I
say?
agree with Kyle Walker.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I thought I was going off the statement of if Kyle Walker's
that's fair,
not
that's fair,
in,
that's fair.
we're all picking Ben White, so that was my
Yeah.
fault.
No, you're good.
All right, defensive mid. Rice versus Rodri. This is probably what'll win the game.
I know
So
mine.
we'll do the 1-on-1 this time because this one's kind of close. Doc's itching to answer, so go ahead, Doc.
It's an easy one for me. It's got to be Rice. Rice, baby. Like it is easy for me. I will say, this season, Rice has just been freaking different gravy, man. And it's not just because he's playing for Arsenal. It's a little bit of it, but he has just stepped up to another level. We talked about last season, like, oh, is he going to struggle with goal contributions? Is he going to struggle with assists? And he's literally just ticking off the boxes now. He is a part of the best back line in the Prem in terms of goal difference and goals conceded, like we had talked about before with both Gabriel and Saliba. I think he has to stay in front of him. I'm not saying Rodri isn't world class and he isn't one of the best CDMs in the world, if not the best CDM in the world, but right now on current form, I'm giving it to Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sammy?
I am going to go with Rodri, just because I think they have that insane stat that Casemiro once had. Like, Real hadn't lost without him in X games. I think Rodri has that same stat for City, or whatever last games he started or played in, they haven't lost. I know that's just like one stat, but those stats always stick out to me because I'm like, damn, that player is probably the most important on their team. So I would give it to Rodri, and I just feel like he's so ingrained into Pep's system that everything goes through him. And I think he played this break for Spain, even though they didn't do all too well. So I'd give it to Rodri.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make this a little bit easier because I'm thinking about things, and I realize that there's been a lot of rotation and a lot of things. So let's just go, instead of head-to-heads, let's just pick our midfield three. That way, I think we can include both of them because I was just thinking about, well, who am I going to compare Jorginho to? You know what I mean? I'm not saying not taking anything away from Jorginho, but let's just pick our midfield three. So let's start with.
This makes it a lot easier.
It's going to make it a lot easier. Are we all going to say Rodri and Declan Rice?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably, yeah.
No, you're not. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Take the floor. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I just want to add to what Sammy said. Like he said, the only points that City really have dropped this season are when Rodri was out with suspension. So I think he is their most crucial and most vital player. Despite Kevin being out for most of the season, they still had Foden. Like he was still producing a lot for them, and Alvarez had some very good contributions. But like Sammy said, I think Rodri is their most pivotal player. I think he, like he said, everything runs through him, and he controls the tempo of the game. So I think for me, it's definitely Rodri. The player that I would pick, my midfield three would be Rodri. I think I'd go all City, to be honest. I'd go Rodri, Bernardo, Kevin, to be honest. Genuinely.
VeeKay.
You cannot deny the class that is Bernardo Silva. That man is so silky on the ball. He is a midfield maestro. He knows how to control the tempo of the game. His distribution is phenomenal. He's great on the dribble. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he does the same thing that Rodri does offensively for City that Rodri does defensively. And I think Kevin is miles better than Odegaard.
There it is. That's what I was
Where's De Bruyne's 11 player of the matches this season?
He's been injured.
Oh, so he's been injured, right? We're talking
yeah.
about current form though, no, right?
Yeah, he got you. With
Yeah, even in his injury form, he's better than Odegaard.
All right, so here's my midfield.
Yeah, you go.
Here's my midfield.
This isn't my bit.
I'm going Declan Rice. I'm going Rodri, absolutely, and Odegaard, arguably the best 8 in the world right now. Putting that out there because I appreciate your love for Bernardo Silva. I'll appreciate you that. I'll give you that. However, he's not effective in midfield. He's effective on the wing. When he shifts up to that left wing, that's when he's dangerous. That's when he's in form. When he plays that center mid, that is like Swiss cheese in the midfield that Rodri has to clean up all the time. Let's talk about the Odegaard allegations, right? Right. I want you to pull up a head to head of De Bruyne this season only. Don't be. We're talking about this season. De Bruyne versus Odegaard. And we'll talk about it. I'm saying this with confidence. I haven't even looked it up yet. I just know that I just know that Odegaard's gonna be miles above. We had Özil make De Bruyne his bitch, and now we're gonna have Odegaard make De Bruyne his bitch, and he's already halfway through with that. All right. If you want to talk about for Odegaard, at least he's got fucking working knees, right? He didn't miss half a season on a torn ACL. That's some bitch made shit. I say as I tore my ACL when I was 16. but there's no way you cannot put Odegaard, who's arguably top 5 in the world, I would say top 3 in the world, in number 8s, and not put that in this combined midfield. That's actually kind of crazy.
Kevin has 5 assists in 9 matches.
Okay.
Compared to this fraud who has 6 assists in 25.
Goals.
Kevin has 1. Odegaard has 6.
Oh.
Yeah. In a thing of the matches played.
So what's the? Are you comparing 9 matches to 26 because of the injury? I'm assuming
9 to 25. Yes.
Okay. All right. And who did Odegaard score against? Like, what are some of the names versus some of the? Listen, De Bruyne could go score against Luton Town all he fucking wants. Can he do it against? Can he do it against some of the biggest names of Europe?
You asked for the stats. I gave you the stats.
I don't know. You put in De
That's
Bruyne
6 contributions.
Is insane.
6 contributions in 9 matches.
Hey, you know what? You know what? I'll give
25.
you. I will let you have De Bruyne in your midfield if you like. If you like lazy midfielders, go ahead. You take them then. That's fine. That's fine. If you want De Bruyne walking around the pitch, not really pressing, not doing anything, and then he makes a fucking easy pass to Haaland, who puts it in, go ahead. Sure. That's fine.
Easy pass, he says.
Easy pass, bro. I play better passes than De Bruyne does in Sunday League. All right? Listen. Homie just makes it look good because he's got all these superstars around him. Odegaard picks the lock. You cannot tell me that De Bruyne picks the lock, I should say, more than Odegaard does. You know who picks
That's exactly what he does.
No, you know who picks the lock? You know who picks the lock?
That's exactly what Kevin does.
No, you know who picks the lock? Haaland. Alvarez. They pick the lock. All De Bruyne does is just boop right into. That's all he does. It's easy passes.
He is the most elite passer in all of Europe.
Bro, that's insane. That's insane that you think that.
If you don't agree with that, your ball knowledge.
Bro, I think Harvey Elliott's better than De Bruyne.
There's no way.
That's actually wild.
It's crazy. Oh.
I have never seen someone glaze so hard over Odegaard. Bro's got Norwegian meat in his mouth right now. No, it's crazy.
Oh my god.
It's okay. It's all just opinions. It's fine. The fact that Ari's an Arsenal fan and can't even support his own captain's crazy.
I respect ball. I respect ballers. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Anyway, let's talk about the front three.
Yeah, we don't. Sammy and I don't
fuck us,
talk
dude.
about it. No. I don't need to. I'm fine just going straight to the front three. I'll stay out of that shit.
No. Pick a midfield three.
I did.
No. The other two.
I'm gonna.
Sammy, you go.
I'm gonna go. Damn. I got Rodri, obviously.
Ari's just ready.
I got motherfucking ham sandwich. What's his name? Kevin De Bruyne. And I'm putting in Kai Havertz for his work rate.
Nah. That's a cop. Havertz is playing up top.
No. Not over Haaland, he's not.
So then he doesn't fit your midfield then?
He does.
Wow.
He's going to be playing all the positions at once. He's going to run from left back, center mid, to attacking forward. That's why we got him. That's my 3. Go ahead, Doc. Get in there.
Valid.
You took the
That's
easy
valid.
way out, bro.
Havertz over Odegaard's crazy. Continue, Doc.
Don't need
I'm
two creative
going to
midfield
go
players when you
with-
have De Bruyne. Well, I guess one non-creative.
Non-biasedly, Gabe.
Raya? Yeah, Rice?
Okay. Valid. Next.
Doc.
Next.
I know I'm not alone on this hill, Doc. Please.
Hey, there's no pressure. No. Let him choose, but no, like for real.
Yeah, no pressure, but
All right, there's no
the
pressure.
greatest
Take the mic out of your mouth, brother. It's crazy.
the greatest midfielder in Premier League history.
Oh.
You're telling me he doesn't go into your 11?
So I am going Rice. I'm putting Odegaard as my 8, and I'm putting Kevin De Bruyne as my 10.
So now you're
I'm
putting
leaving.
Rice.
I'm leaving. No, I put Rice in. I'm
Yeah,
leaving
but
Rodri.
Oh, or I meant Rodri. Sorry.
I'm leaving Rodri out. I'm going with a more attacking midfield in terms of this. Because I think having both Rice and Rodri is obsolete. I think they both play similarly. They both can do similar stuff, but based off of current form, I am taking Rice over Rodri. I think De Bruyne has a little bit of a different skill set than Odegaard in terms of his passing capabilities, and I think Odegaard has a completely different skill set in terms of his work rate, in terms of his ball retention, in terms of his link-up play, and in terms of his passing ability as well. I think they bring a little bit different to the table, both of them. So I am putting both of them in there. Let's move to the front 3. All right.
He said
So-
Kevin goes to go passing.
Sorry, no one understood you.
All
He
right,
said
so
Kevin goes to guard.
I did not say
in the
gaps.
passing category. He gaps him. Gaping.
Front 3, because VeeKay has to leave very soon. VeeKay, I'm gonna give you the floor for your front 3. I'm gonna let you go first.
Front
with
3.
this.
I'm going current form.
Oh baby.
I'm gonna go Havertz.
That's
Overall.
crazy.
I'm gonna go Havertz. Assuming Martinelli's still injured. I don't know if he's back. If Martinelli's fit, I'm gonna go Martinelli. Then I'm gonna go Saka. Part of me doesn't want to put Haaland in it right now, but I mean Haaland is probably one of the most clinical finishers in this league, so I guess I have to put Haaland. I don't want to. I really don't want to. I think I said it last year too. I think or sorry, no, not last year, the beginning of the season. I said that this was going to be Haaland's season where he starts to fall off a bit, and I think we're seeing that. I think if he has the same season in any other team, he probably would be looking for a transfer. I don't think even Arsenal. I don't know. He just had a really rough season, but because he's plays for Man City and all he has to do is redirect the ball into the back of the net, he's got goals. And even then, sometimes he hasn't been doing that properly this season. So, but yeah. So I am gonna say Haaland only because I don't feel comfortable putting Jesus on top. I certainly don't feel Eddie Nketiah. I'd put fucking Havertz before Nketiah. I'd put Ethan and Warney and Warney in front of
Nwaneri.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm in there.
I don't even consider him an Arsenal player anymore. No, I shouldn't say that. But that's my front 3. What about
Eddie, not an Arsenal player, not Ethan and
Correct.
Not the player that Odegaard is mentoring right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's De Bruyne mentoring? The fucking crutches of his ACL tear? Shit. Anyway, Ari, what's your front 3?
That was a good one.
This is my favorite podcast that we've done so far, baby.
But I also feel like KDB could assist more than Odegaard with his crutches.
Three, God damn it!
Sorry, go ahead, Ari. That's all I had to
Three.
say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If we're able to move players around, I'd probably go very easily. Foden on the left, Holland up top, and Saka on the right. I think Foden's had a phenomenal season for them. With Kevin being out, he's been their ultimate clutch factor. And he's got a boatload of goal contributions for them. And I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's really, really, really quality, especially for his age. Just his technical ability, I think is really tops. So I'd go Foden, Haaland, Saka for sure.
Yeah, I'd stick with the same three. If we could move people around. If we can't, and it's Saka and Foden on the right, I'm going Saka all day. But moving them around, it's Foden. It's definitely Foden, Haaland, and Saka.
If it's Alvarez on the left, I think I'd still take him over Martinelli, just based on this season. Just because I think Martinelli's been quiet. So
I'd potentially try and put Trossard in there, Jack Grealish, but not Doku.
Not
Who?
Doku. Sorry. No, I would definitely.
Doku?
Doku?
I like that.
And then Pep versus Arteta. Who are you taking?
Arteta.
Yeah.
Come on.
Happy birthday,
Obviously.
my Fulgan manager.
It's his birthday?
It was yesterday, yeah.
Holy
Oh
shit!
my
I forgot
God.
to
You
DM
didn't
him.
wish him a happy birthday?
Oh my god.
Happy
I
birthday,
didn't know it was his
Gaffer.
birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Gaffer. Wow.
Gaffer. Do you guys have any last points to make before we close this out? I see a little smile on VeeKay, so we'll save him for last. But anybody else have anything they would like to say?
I'm good.
Or you might as well get it out now while you can.
There's no way humanly possible in the number 10 role you could ever say Odegaard touches Kevin. Ever. Ever. Maybe in the 8 role, sure, I'd say you can have Odegaard over Bernardo. But in the 10 role, I don't think anyone touches Kevin.
Anyone.
Anyone.
Even
In Premier League history.
even though Ozil already has. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
VeeKay? Anything you want to...
Response.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that you oh the fact that you like don't even back our own captain is wild to me. Is wild. And the fact that you just I don't know, man. There's so many other good qualities other than like goal contributions to Odegaard.
It's not that I don't back him.
Yes, all right, dude. Yeah,
I think
you
he's
don't back him. You seriously don't back him.
I
will
don't
pull up
back him over Kevin.
You don't back him.
I
Period.
don't back him over Kevin.
You don't back him. Period. I'll pull up the receipts. You don't back him. Period.
For banter. For banter.
banter?
I'm a wind-up merchant. I'm a wind-up merchant.
Holy brother.
I will say in Ari's defense, there've been times where we've been on here. It's like, hold on, I'm gonna wind up Mark really quick.
He does. He does do that.
And it fucking works. It works. And I know you're doing it. I know you're doing it, but it works, bro.
And the thing is, you have to know as he's sending it, he's just doing that giggle that he always does behind his phone. That right there. The second he sends it, the second he sees that response where he's like, "Oh yeah, I got him." Oh man.
You think Ozil touches Kevin? No. Ozil had one season where he had 19 assists. Kevin has been dropping 18 to 20 for the like 15 to 20 for the last like 9 seasons. This guy has longevity.
Whenever you look at records in European football, it's always only player higher than them, Ozil. Only player higher than them, Ozil. Everywhere. The Bundesliga, the Premier League, the Champions League. Yes, Kevin can do it in the Premier League, but look at the team he's been surrounded in. Ozil had fucking Giroud. De Bruyne has Haaland. De Bruyne had Aguero. Like, come on. The fact that Ozil's still doing that and still on that same caliber, he's better than De Bruyne. There's no way.
His numbers were nowhere near Kevin's, though. But I'm just saying, I think Kevin is the most elite passer that the Premier League has ever seen.
That's it. I'm going to send a YouTube in the group chat, and we'll see.
Let's go. We'll finish this in the group chat.
All right. No, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy.
Holy shit! You're just gonna let Ari win
I
like
don't have
that?
that
Me
energy.
personally, I wouldn't let that happen.
I already stated my point. I already stated my point. Listen, it's fine. I already know that we got some banging TikToks off of this. I already know that the people are gonna go crazy in the TikTok and Instagram reel comment section.
Oh,
I'm chilling
100%.
because at the end of the day, you know who won? All 4 of us. Because thanks for the engagement. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm
Ari's
gonna
just a
say.
clickbait
We love
merchant, dude.
banter. We love banter.
But
Yeah.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Gooners Gone Wild. We appreciate you guys listening all the way to the end. If you have, remember to subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and as always, come on, you Gooners! I can't wait to win the Premier League title this year.
Gooners.
Holy, we're winning the league.